Previously, when Lewellyn came to meet her brother, King Bastian, he surprised her by informing her that Brigent was going to ask Thessaly to return her brother Alpheus. Hearing this, she quickly hugged him and thanked him for keeping his promise. Touched by Lewellyn, Bastian tightly cuddled her in return and expressed that despite not being a good king, he was trying his best to become a good brother. Later, when Lewellyn and Tristan were training the pet eagle Coco, she felt discomforted by Tristan's expressionless gaze, and when she asked why he was behaving so strangely, he abruptly complimented her, stating that she looked so lovely. Blushing heavily, she reflected that no one had ever called her a lovely woman. Suddenly, Tristan offered a lotion to Lewellyn, explaining that Coco would get attracted to the lotion's aroma. Complying, she applied it near her neck, and as she did, Coco swiftly landed on her shoulder and began to sniff the applied area. Observing this, Lewellyn cutely asked if it liked it that much. So, let's dive into the parts 100, 101, 102 of the manhwa, The Secret Bedroom of the Forsaken Princess. Observing a strong bond between them, Tristan takes a drop of the lotion and applies it to his neck. Smelling the lotion, Coco delivers an unpleasant gaze at Tristan. Coco then arrogantly signals that it's not interested in entertaining Tristan. Observing this, Lewellyn humorously asks if Coco doesn't like Tristan. Not at all offended, Tristan wonders why a fierce bird like Horus, known for being hard to tame, is obeying the princess so diligently. Besides, how can a bird act so cute when it's known for its rough and arrogant nature? In fact, when he bought it, it showed a hostile nature towards him. Approaching her, he mentions that it seems like the myth is still alive. When Lewellyn asks what he means, he explains that Horuses only obey their master when they become adults. But it's totally different in Lewellyn's case, perhaps because she is of the Golden Crow's bloodline. Plus, a few days ago, she became the Golden Raven of Brigent. Hearing this, Lewellyn quickly glances at Coco. As she caresses Coco's beak, it happily lets her caress its whole body. Seeing this, Tristan displays a mix of sadness and relief. The scene then transitions to the same evening, where Lewellyn asks if Tristan is disappointed to learn that Coco acknowledges her as its master and not him. Sniffing the aroma of the lotion, she asks if she should follow him around like this instead of Coco. Blushing heavily, he springs back and requests her to stop joking, as he doesn't like these kinds of pranks at all. Seeing Tristan's discomfort, Lewellyn quickly apologizes. Suddenly, Llewellyn's servant arrives and informs her that Duke Almondite seeks a meeting with her. To this, she reflects that he must have heard about her going to the conference. She orders her servant to tell Almondite she will be late. Turning to Tristan, she asks if they shall wrap things up and go. As he suggests she go first, she asks why they can't go together. Suddenly, Llewellyn's cheeks flush at seeing Tristan's broad and charming back. Stepping closer, she asks why he seems so strange today. Placing the objects around, he states that he still has work to do, reminding her that Almondite must be waiting for her. Seeing his reaction, she playfully reflects that she wants to tease him a little more. Acting serious, Lewellyn asks if Tristan is neglecting his duty as her knight, who swore to protect her by staying at her side. Taking her bait, he cutely requests forgiveness this time. Witnessing Tristan's cute side for the first time, Lewellyn reflects that this is why she always loves playing pranks on him. She further questions why he's talking without looking at her. Still blushing, he expresses that he just doesn't want to do that. She asks if he's rebelling and wonders why he's embarrassed when he's seen more than this. Hearing this, Tristan turns towards Lewellyn in silence, scrutinizing his body from head to toe. She freezes in shock at noticing a strange bulge near his pants. Sweating, she reflects that despite seeing it twice, it still scares her. Sensing the stigma's awakening, she wonders why he gets so excited just by seeing a fully clothed lady. Feeling embarrassed, Tristan hides his face and swiftly apologizes. Blushing, she wonders why her prank backfired on her. Lewellyn then instructs Tristan to follow her, as she can't pretend not to see her commander in trouble. Besides, she must solve this problem, as she's the only lady he knows. With this, they begin to remove their clothes to solve Tristan's problem. Dear viewers, if you want to know how Princess Lewellyn calms Tristan's excitement towards her, you'll have no option but to read this chapter for yourself, as this channel must adhere to YouTube's guidelines. So, let's jump to the next segment. The scene then transitions to the princess's palace, where Lewellyn enters her room and finds that Almondite is already there. As Almondite delivers a stern gaze, she falls silent and approaches his chair. He suggests she consider the possibility that it's a trap. Perplexed, she asks what kind of trap he's talking about. He explains that she's merely a competitor to Bastian, who's using her as a pawn to diminish her presence. Besides, if she goes to Thessaly, she'll end up in a dangerous situation, and she might even be on her way to death if she proceeds. He further insists he will go in her place. Pissed, Lewellyn warns Almondite not to cause discord between her and her brother Bastian, now or in the future. Shouting, Almondite declares that Pamela will not let her go there easily. Getting emotional, Lewellyn asks if he knows how much she wants to meet Alpheus, her mother's country, and her people of Thessaly. Moreover, she doesn't care if it's a trap from Pamela. With a serious gaze, he asks if she's sure she wants to go there. Avoiding direct eye contact, Lewellyn clenches her fists, struggling to maintain her composure. She reflects that if she lets this chance slip by, she may never see her brother again. She's sure Alpheus misses her as much as she does. He's the only family she has left since her mother died. And there's only one reason she endures all this pain. Because across the Great Salt Sea lies a small country abundant in gems, though its food is scarce. This country is the land where Lewellyn's mother was born. Yet, she hasn't set foot there since her mother died, so she's desperate to go and reside there with her brother. However, she thinks Almondite is too hypocritical to understand her true desires, and she wants him to stop pretending that he cares about her. When Almondite approaches, Lewellyn delivers an icy glare and informs him that he's a terrible person. Hearing this, he acknowledges it and deeply apologizes to her. Suddenly, Almondite kneels before Lewellyn and begins to reflect on his mistakes. Lowering his gaze, he pleads for her forgiveness for all the wrongs he's committed until now. He promises to tell her everything, from the beginning to the end, about why he left. His unexpected behavior causes her to wonder if he's truly trying to prevent her from meeting Alpheus. Confused, she wonders how a nobleman could manipulate emotions like this. Enraged, she shouts, demanding to know why he didn't apologize as soon as he met her. He should have said he was sorry for leaving and betraying her. Still shouting, she asks if he thinks it's funny that apologizing now will make her forget his betrayal and accept him happily. Hearing this, Almondite tries to calm her, but before he can, Lewellyn becomes so vulnerable that she begins weeping. As she hides her face, she steps away from him. Unable to control her emotions, she wonders why she feels this way when he finally apologizes as she always wanted. Suddenly, she recalls the time when they were completely in love with each other. At that time, Almondite declared in front of everyone that he would dedicate his life to her and promised to marry her, and that confession was the happiest moment of her life. Yet, he shattered those dreams and left her alone. So what's the point of an apology now? Besides, she doesn't want to be betrayed by him again. In an instant, Lewellyn commands Almondite to never return to her life. From here, the scene shifts to Queen Pamela's chamber, where the enraged Pamela slaps one of her maids, asking when the maid will do her work properly. Pleading for mercy, the maid promises she will never make any mistake again. Shifting to her female attendant, Pamela asks where she hired these incompetent maids. The attendant informs Pamela that since Count Roch found guilty, everyone has been reluctant to serve as the queen's maids. With this, the scene transitions to the day when Countess Roch was declared the culprit for murdering innocent girls by Lewellyn. At that time, Pamela tried to forgive Lady Roch, as she was her closest ally. However, the nobility objected to her decision, gossiping that Lewellyn had done a perfect investigation. And since Countess Roch had admitted her guilt, the queen had no choice but to order her execution immediately. And just because of that, Pamela reluctantly ordered her knights to execute Lady Roch and crucify her in a public place. Returning to the present, the heavily pissed Pamela reflects that forsaken Lewellyn finally fought back against her and forced her to execute her own ally in front of everyone. As Pamela's attendant informs her that King Bastian has sent Lewellyn to the meeting with Thessaly, Pamela springs up and yells, asking if the princess is trying to play with her. Suddenly, she falls silent for a moment and delivers a sinister smile, mentioning that this would be the perfect chance to get revenge. Stepping away, she inquires when Lewellyn will be leaving the palace. The attendant mentions that she will leave in 2 weeks. Pamela instructs her to go and bring the White Knight Commander. Lifting her dog, she mutters that Lewellyn has become so naughty and that the Queen Mother must give her a good scolding. Because when Lewellyn returns after her fruitful meeting with Thessaly, the Queen Mother will have prepared a grand congratulatory gift for her return. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.